Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope everybody is doing fantastic. We're going to check out the games for Saturday, March the 25th. Saturday, the start of the weekend. We got 6 games on the schedule. Some interesting matchups. We're going to break them all down and see if we can come up with some good picks. But guys, before we get started, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Tick the notification bell to get alerted when my videos come on. I do videos every single day. And guys, those of you that have seen my videos already, hit the like button to help the algorithm spread the word. I would really appreciate it. Another thing, guys, before we get started, before I start doing the analysis for the games, I will add chapters to the video for each game. If I know sometimes these videos get a little long and your attention spans are not that high, so if you guys will be able to go through the video and go to the interesting spots that you want to look at. And with that being said, guys, let's get started. In the first game of the night, guys, we have the Atlanta Hawks at home hosting the Indiana Pacers. The Hawks currently 10-point favorites. I had the Hawks favored by 9 in this game. Line is a point higher than my estimate. The Hawks, guys, have had a couple of days off. They were in Minnesota in their last game. Lost a tough one. They got up by quite a few points in Karl Anthony Towns' return for the Timberwolves. Looked like they had it in the bag, but just the details at the end of the game gave the win to the Timberwolves. Ended up losing that game by 1. A tough loss for the Hawks, who recently have been playing pretty well. In that game, they were also without DeJounte Murray. He missed the team's last couple games. He was out with an illness, if I'm not mistaken. He's not on the injury report. He is expected to be in action in this game. The Pacers, guys, are going to be on the second night of back-to-back. They were in Boston. Competitive in that game for the first half, but in the second half, it just completely got away from them, and they ended up getting blown out. Tyrese Halliburton came back for the Pacers in that game. I don't see him on the injury report for this matchup, so I am expecting him to play. But the Pacers, guys, are very close to elimination. They are 74 games in. They got 8 games left, and they are 2.5 games behind Chicago and Toronto and the Hawks, the teams that are closest to them in the standings. Things are not looking good for the Pacers. The Hawks, guys, this is going to be the first game of a back-to-back. They're going to be playing the Grizzlies on Sunday. In my opinion, I think they're going to want to go all out for this game. It looks like the game that they have much better chances of winning. So in this matchup, guys, I think the 10 points are fine, and I will be going with Atlanta here and the minus 10. In the second game of the night, we have the Brooklyn Nets going down to Miami to take on the Heat. The Heat are currently 5.5-point favorites. I had the Heat favored by 6 in this game. Miami, guys, has been playing very well, definitely uptrending. They have won a couple straight, and overall you can see the sense of urgency in the team, and they have really picked it up and playing some pretty good basketball. The Brooklyn Nets, guys, are on a 5-game losing streak, and they were at home for a back-to-back set against the Cavs. They ended up losing both those games, but heartbreak hotel in the second one. They were up, looked like they had that game in the bag, but just some costly mistakes at the end. Isaac Okoro for the Cavs hit a 3 at the buzzer and sent them to another defeat. With that loss, guys, the Nets dropped down to the 7th spot, which puts them in the play-in tournament. The Heat are doing very well by jumping up to the 6th spot. We know the 6th spot leads to a direct berth into the playoffs, a very important position. The Heat 40-34, Brooklyn 39-34. Just percentage points, the difference between these two teams. In this game, guys, I do expect the Miami Heat to win this ball game, but I think these points are a little too many. We know the Heat at any time can be very inconsistent, and Brooklyn in their last 2, despite losing those games, are showing signs of a possible uptrend. So in this game, guys, I'm going to be looking to take Brooklyn and the points in this game. And in the third matchup of the night, guys, we have the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are currently 2.5-point favorites. I had Denver favored by 2 in this game. Denver, guys, is going to be playing their first game back from a 5-game road trip. A 5-game road trip where they ended up going 3-2. They started off poorly, and their coach, Michael Malone, was going off on them. He was talking about how bad they were performing on the defensive end. But in the last 2, it looks like they listened to their coach and they picked it up, held the Nets to 102 points and the Wizards to 104 in those wins. Really focusing on the defensive end. Denver, guys, we know is very comfortable in the standings. They do have a 3-game lead over the second place Grizzlies. They're going to need a few more wins in order to wrap up the top spot in the Western Conference. But guys, matchup against the Bucks is a good opportunity for them to test and see how good they are playing and where they're at. The Bucks guys are going to be on the second night of a back-to-back. They were in Utah. They went and just put a beat down on the Jazz, a short-handed Jazz team. They didn't leave any room for doubt in that game, and they left Salt Lake City with a big win. Another important thing, obviously, that Coach Bud wanted to do in that game was get a big lead early in order to have his players with the least amount of minutes, and he managed to do that. No Bucks player, I think, played over 30 minutes. He got his subs in there. Everybody got some time. Chris Middleton was also held out of that game for injury and knee management. They do hold him. It's the load management. They hold him out from time to time. It looks like he's going to be playing in the game against the Nuggets. Guys, what's going to be important in this game to see when Middleton gets announced in, see what this line does. This line, usually, guys, when we see the Bucks getting any kind of plus points on the road, even against the Nuggets, I'm pretty sure the public is going to be favoring a play on the Bucks in this game. I'm going to be looking to take Denver. Denver here with the -2.5. Denver, guys, don't forget, they are 30-5, if I'm not mistaken, at home. 30-6. They're 30-6, the second best home team in the NBA. I'm going to be looking for them to get a W in this game against the Bucks. It won't be easy, but I like Denver in this spot. And in the fourth matchup of the night, guys, we have the Utah Jazz traveling to Sacramento to take on the Kings. The Kings are currently 9-point favorites. I had the Kings favored by 8 in this game. The line is a point higher than my estimate. The Sacramento Kings had a tough game with the Phoenix Suns. They got down early in that game by double digits, but a big run in the second half. Sacramento Kings, with that entertaining up-tempo basketball that they play, were just too much for the Phoenix Suns. They got a comfortable win at the end, ended up covering that line. We also had Sacramento in that game, got a good win in that matchup. The Utah Jazz were in action, like I just mentioned in the previous game. They were at home against the Bucks. Utah, guys, is in full-on tank mode now. Their 3 best players, Markkanen, Sexton, Clarkson, all out. And the bad play has just caught up to them, guys. The last 2, they lost to a short-handed Blazers team, and they just got blasted by Milwaukee. Nothing to be ashamed of against the loss to Milwaukee, but we can kind of get a sense of where things are going for the Utah Jazz. In this game, guys, I can't go in any other way than Sacramento and the -9. This is going to be my pick for this game. Utah, Sacramento, Sacramento -9. In the fifth game of the night, guys, we have the Philadelphia 76ers traveling to the Valley of the Sun to take on the Phoenix Suns. Philadelphia is currently a 1-point favorite. I had Phoenix actually favored in this game. For no other reason, I don't think Phoenix right now is better than Philly, but this is going to be the second night of a back-to-back for both teams, actually. But for Philadelphia, we know James Harden was out in the game against Golden State. Philadelphia was in San Francisco taking on the Warriors. Harden was held out of that game. Joel Embiid was listed as questionable, ended up playing in that game. He had a good ball game. He's continuing his MVP campaign, but the Sixers lost to the Warriors, dropped them to the third place. With now they currently have a 1.5 game difference between the second place Boston Celtics. It's going to be extremely tough now for them to catch them, guys. And taking a look at the Sixers schedule, it's not getting any easier. In this game, guys, I would not be surprised if they hold out Joel Embiid, and we don't know what Harden's status is going to be. So there's still a lot of uncertainty there. Phoenix, guys, like I've mentioned plenty of times during their losing streak, this team is actually a gold mine to bet against. They have absolutely nothing going for them besides Devin Booker and past his prime Chris Paul, DeAndre now, Durant still out. Until those 2 guys come back, I expect the struggles to continue for Phoenix. But in this game, guys, it's going to be very, very important to wait and see who's going to be playing for Philly. If Joel Embiid and Harden end up sitting, or if Harden comes back, Embiid sits, I think we're going to have some plus points here. I think it'll be a good idea to wait until we get the status of those 2 players confirmed. I think we can get some plus points for Philly. In either case, guys, I'm going to be looking to take Philadelphia in this game, Philly, and the money line right now. But we do have to wait and see what the line is going to look like when we get confirmation about those two players. And in the last game of the night, guys, we have the New Orleans Pelicans facing off against the Los Angeles Clippers in LA. The Clippers are currently 5-point favorites. I had the Clippers favored by 6 in this game. The Clippers in the first game without Paul George played a very, very good ball game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They won that game. They got a lot of help from Bones Highland. Bones Highland, the newly acquired player from the Denver Nuggets, hadn't seen any action until the previous ball game. He took full advantage of his opportunity. Had a big game. I think he had like 19 points in this game. Terrence Mann also off the bench. Lots of energy. And the Clippers played very good basketball. Kawhi Leonard, one of his usual big games. And Russell Westbrook also played great in that ball game. The Clippers, guys, jumped up to 4th place now with Phoenix's loss to the Sacramento Kings, which means home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. They're going to be looking to continue their winning ways and to hold on to that 4th spot. Phoenix, guys, has been reeling. Golden State has also been making a move. They're also going to try to get into that 4th spot. The Clippers are going to have their work cut out for them. The Pelicans, guys, are currently in 9th place. They have won 3 straight, 36 and 37 in that tightly packed Western Conference. But like I mentioned, guys, in the previous video that I talked about the Pelicans, they have an extremely tough schedule. And as you can see, this game against the Clippers is not going to be easy. But they have been playing very well. Like I also mentioned, Zion Williamson, they said, I read some reports that he's just a couple of weeks out. So their thinking is if they can get into the playoffs, Zion comes back, anything can happen. Even though he hasn't played in a couple months, they are definitely making a move and not tanking. In this game, guys, I kind of like the Pelicans here and the points. I think this is going to be a very close game. I do expect the Clippers to win, but I don't know if they can cover this 5 points. The Pelicans, guys, are really going after it. The +5, I will take the points in this game. I do expect the Clippers to win the game, but with a closer margin, maybe 2-3 points. This is going to be my side in this game between the Clippers and the Pelicans. And this is what I have for you guys for the 6-game schedule for Saturday, March the 25th. Some interesting matchups. We did our analysis. We got our picks. Now, if we get some injury news last minute, we will be following everything. I will update these picks. If I change my mind, if the lines change, we get some last minute information coming in on my Twitter and in my Telegram. You can see the links over here at the bottom of the screen. And that's pretty much what I have for you guys. Good luck on whatever you decide to bet. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.